everybody to Mountain Washington Valley Chamber of Commerce's webinar series. And our host today, our presenter today, is Christina Falsick with Rockhopper Races. And we are thrilled to have Christina present with us and be here today. I know it's not being on the trail, but it's nice to learn a little bit more about being on the trail from Christina. And I just want to share a little bit of information. Christina Falsick is a mountain ultra runner and founded Rockhopper Races in 2018. And her goal is to create an atmosphere that is welcoming to all abilities, from back of the pack runner to the speedster that's dueling to win. She's also passionate about educating runners on the leave no trace ethics, wilderness first aid, and being good stewards for the trail mountain running community. So with that said, I'd like to turn it over to Christina, and so she could tell us a little bit more about the event happening in June, that's Race the Cog, and how to prepare if somebody is interested in racing the cog.
Thanks for having me, Michelle. So you may be wondering what Race the Cog is. Today I'm going to try to answer your questions, and you can always email us with any of your questions. So Race the Cog is a family-friendly event where runners can run alongside the cog tracks to the summit of Mount Washington. And what's really fun is it's going to have trains full of screaming spectators to cheer you on. We are anticipating 2 donations to be made on behalf of the race, and one will be to the AMC, the segment that maintains the Appalachian Trail above the tree line, and one to the Mount Washington Observatory. This is a personal challenge for all abilities, and we will be having 3 different categories, ranging from the elite runners to those who want to do an easy pace to the top. This unique event highlights a piece of history in the White Mountains. The Mount Washington Cog Railway, also known as the COG, is the world's first mountain climbing cog railway. It's the second steepest rack railway in the world after the Pilatus Railway in Switzerland, with an average grade of over 25%, and the maximum is 37%. So this is not an easy race. There's a lot of elevation and climbing. The railway is 3 miles long, and it ascends Mount Washington's western slope, beginning at an elevation of 2,700 feet above sea level and ends just short of the mountain summit peak of 6,288 feet. If you've never ridden on the Cog Railway, this is an awesome opportunity for you to experience it, because every runner entry includes a ticket for the ride down on the train, and Jacob's Ladder is definitely one of my favorite parts of riding on that train. So what to expect? The event will have an expo at the base of the cog. Spectator trains will bring guests up the mountain, and there will be special tickets available for sale on the spectator trains, so you can have your family and friends cheer you on while you're suffering your way up to the top of the mountain. The expo is intended to bring together various businesses and to create a family-friendly event. We're pretty psyched to have Delta Dental. They're bringing chip timing and a Jumbotron to the event. If you're interested in advertising on the Jumbotron or being at the expo, please feel free to reach out. I'll have the email for us at the end of this presentation. Red Bull is bringing energy to the event, so they'll have their music truck. If you haven't seen this thing, Google it. It's pretty cool. And they're going to be bringing a ton of Red Bull for the runners to enjoy. And of course, you'll get to run through that famous Red Bull arch. We're going to have great swag for the runners and also for the spectators on the train. And Jeff Sign-On Photography will be at the event with a few other photographers taking epic photos of the runners going up the mountain. And we're hoping to have a race commentator. So what is Rockhopper Races? At Rockhopper Races, we host premier running events in the White Mountains while donating to the organizations that maintain the trails we use at our events. We also offer clinics, coaching, and education. We want to teach runners how to safely enjoy their adventures in the mountains and understand the importance of leave no trace ethics and be good trail stewards. This is really important to us because lately the trails have had a lot of garbage on them, and some people just don't understand trail etiquette, so it's nice to take some classes and know how to get along with everybody in the mountains. We do offer clinics that teach you how to safely run on rocky terrain in the White Mountains. With COVID, the last couple of years, we didn't hold any of these, but what's really fun is I usually take people up to the summit of Mount Washington in the Rockhopper van. It's a small group of people, and we practice playing around on the rocks and running without having to run all the way up and down Mount Washington. So we also offer other mountain running clinics where you can run all the way up and down the mountains to help you gain the skills needed to run in the mountains. And we have ladies only clinics to help cover a variety of topics that are specific to female runners. And that includes silly things like going to the bathroom and trail safety, which is a big deal for us. We also want to educate as many people out there to perform a self-rescue or rescue someone else in the backcountry. The last couple of years, Fish and Game and the Forest Service have really struggled with rescues. Some of them have been unnecessary because people are either unprepared or uneducated on how to get themselves or their friends safely out of the woods. The other nice thing is if you happen to come across an injured person on the trail, you have the skills and the ability to not only help them, but provide comfort to them so that they're not having a panic attack and freaking out. You can make them comfortable, you know exactly what the chain of command is and how to get help to them as soon as possible. We partner with Redline Guiding and solo schools to offer the Wilderness First Aid course 4 times a year. And it's actually a really fun hands-on course if you haven't taken it. So trail work days, we proudly maintain the Liberty Trail on Mount Chicora. We host trail work days in conjunction with the Chicora Lake Conservancy, where we pretty much tackle half the mountain. And it's a lot of fun. We get out, we work on the trails. We typically have lunch up on the ledges, which is a great place to sit in the sun and chat and get to know other people. And we feel it's really important to give back to the trails that we use. And it's really fun to be a part of taking care of the trails because every time you're on it, you can say, oh, I made that water bar. I pruned that trail. And it's giving back to the mountains, which is important. We also offer coaching. Of course, we offer some plans for Race the Cog. So if you want to try to run up the Rocky Trail on the side of the cog, we can help you out with that. But our coaching is for all abilities, ranging from first-time runners to seasoned athletes that are looking to get on the podium. We offer training specific to the events or goals that you aspire to accomplish. And I do have 2 other coaches working with me, and they're experienced in helping you run anything from 100 meters on a track to 200 plus miles, which is something that a lot of people are doing these days. And for the ultimate training experience, we offer the Novaturient Warrior Training Program, where we really work on your mental game, overcoming PTSD, and you get a training plan to help you rock the trails. So with the Novatorian Warrior Training Program, we tap into your hidden potential through the power of your mind. So many times we find that our mind and our thoughts hold us back from performing the best that we can. So you will make peace with past trauma and PTSD instead of just coping with it or using your runs to get out there and run away from your problems. And you train your mind and body to become the athlete and the person you were meant to be. So some tips to make sure you keep your racing and training fun. Have friends to do things with. There are some cool local running groups that are starting up in the Valley. So if you live in the Valley, look around on Facebook. The Mount Washington Valley Run Club is something that just popped up, and you'll meet a ton of like-minded people. Some of the runners are brand new to the sport, and some of them are looking to break 3 hours in a marathon. So we kind of have a little bit of everything. Life does happen, and we don't want that to ruin your personal relationships. So one of the things you want to do is have a couple of events on deck so you won't be devastated if one doesn't turn out the way you hoped it would. And this also keeps you from feeling lost after finishing your key event. And definitely make sure to include your family and your friends in your training routine. It's really nice to have your personal relationships healthy, and then you'll feel better about taking time to train. And there are a lot of creative ways you can include little kids and, get out in the woods and hopefully give them an experience that will help them enjoy the outdoors. So other events that Rockhopper Races hosts, White Lake Ultras this year will be on April 30th, and this is an extremely fun event. Costumes, highly recommended. I will have at least half a dozen that I wear myself. It's a 6, 12, 24-hour timed event where you do as many 3-mile loops around White Lake before your time is up. And it's a really pretty loop, and we have great food, swag, music, and a party atmosphere at the race. And we also have relay teams, which is a great way for families to get out and run for 24 hours, but you're not actually all running for 24 hours. The Chicora Mountain Race is on June 4th, and that one is a 15-mile trail race that takes you up and over Mount Chicora. We actually have food trucks, Tin Can Food Truck, which is in the valley, and they make absolutely amazing crepes, comes and provides food. We have a physical therapist. Cullenberg Physical Therapy comes to most of our races. Great swag, drinks, and a huge finish line in a large field so that everybody can hang out and have fun after they're done running up and over the mountain. We're really excited about Race the Cog, which is, we had talked about, the 3-mile race to the summit of Mount Washington. And being a first-year race, it should be quite a bit of fun. And then our 4th race of the year is the Kilkenny Ridge Race, September 17th. And this one is a little more challenging. It offers 25 and 50-mile race, which goes over 2 4,000 footers, Mount Cabot, and Mount Wambeck. So the 25-mile race is a traverse of the Kilkenny Ridge, and the 50-miler is an out and back. And this one is fun. We have a lot of good food at the finish line. The backcountry aid stations, people actually spend a couple nights in the woods setting up aid stations and feeding the runners. And the finish line has a nice bonfire and a beach, and everybody can hang out afterwards. But definitely that's one of our more rugged courses. And we get some pretty killer pictures at our races. Jeff Sinon Photography he's actually our official race photographer, and he's a landscape photographer who has worked with us over the last few years, and he really brings his landscape eye to the races. So you'll get some epic backdrops in your pictures. And he's pretty cool. You'll find him on the summits. You'll find him in the middle of the woods just waiting there with his camera. And he's out there, rain, snow, freezing cold, doesn't matter. You'll see him out there with a smile taking your picture. And all of our races have free pictures that are included with them. And I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out, visit our website, www.rockhopperraces.com, and you can email us at rockhopperraces@gmail.com. Thank you and have an awesome day.
Awesome. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Because knowing that, so June 25th is the COG race, and it's the Race the COG. First time ever that you'll be doing this. So I'm assuming it's going to be rain, snow, or shine.
It's anything. They do that with the auto road too. So whatever the weather is, we're going to send you up there. The only thing we may have a delay with is if there's lightning, but starting early enough in the morning, hopefully, fingers crossed, we won't have any lightning.
Fingers crossed for sure. If somebody is interested in working with you to be coached and participating in that race, what would you say the length of time for coaching would be for even a first-time runner?
For a first-time runner, I'd say you'd need at least 4 to 6 months to start. If you're regularly running and you really want to focus on the mountain fitness, I'd say 12 weeks would be more than enough. And if you're really just looking to hone in on your skills, about 10 weeks. It's going to be fun.
That sounds great. And then you also mentioned an expo that will be at the station, the base station, correct?
Yeah, so we will have food trucks down there. We're going to have music, and we are working on finding different vendors to show up and bring a lot of fun things, family friendly things for everybody. So if anybody's interested in coming to that, we would love to have them.
Great. And if somebody's interested in being a vendor, should they just email you at rockhopperraces@gmail.com?
They should. Yep. Send me an email and then we'll get everybody set up.
Great. Well, I'm excited about this. I'm excited to be there. I was checking out what the average temperature of Mount Washington is monthly for June, and it's right around 45 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that it'll be exciting.
And it could be warm down low, but definitely I'm going to have blankets for everybody at the top so they're not absolutely freezing while they're waiting to get their ride down on the train.
Sure. And I'm sure everybody will be looking at the higher summits forecast provided by the Mount Washington Observatory. And I think that's great that a portion of the proceeds will go to support the AMC and the Mount Washington Observatory. So that's great. Awesome.
We're pretty excited.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share this with us about this event and information on coaching, what else that you're doing, what other events Rockhopper Races will have throughout the year, and definitely the Mount Washington Valley Run Club. I when you were telling me about that, I was excited to hear that there's a run club for all abilities. So, and can you just share just a little bit more about that? That it's for all abilities. So you're at the slowest runner's pace, or explain that again.
Yeah, so it's absolutely no runner left behind. We do not ditch people, and the runs are Monday and Wednesday nights, and the group is really new, so we're still trying to figure out schedules, but it's been awesome to have first-time runners come, some of the seasoned runners come, and there are also faster runs for people that want to go a little bit faster. So you can visit the Facebook group. It's the Mount Washington Valley Run Club. And if you join it, you can post runs if you're looking for somebody of a certain pace or ability to go running with on a certain day or time, then, everybody can see that. So a lot of really great friendships have been made, and it's forced us to get out and play when it's really, really cold. And friendly dogs are definitely welcome, but we just have to know ahead of time if dogs are coming so that we can all plan appropriately.
That's a great point about dogs and being able to be there or how to prepare beforehand. So key, very key. Well, thank you again so much. And again, the website is rockhopperraces.com. And to reach out to Christina, your email is rockhopperraces@gmail.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Michelle.